Hello, hello, hello. Oh my gosh. Long time no see, friends. Long time don't see. But, we got to get right into it. So, we don't do nothing without prayer. So, without further ado, Father God, we love you. We thank you. We need you. We want you. And we just got to have you. Father God, there is no one above you. There is no one greater than you. Father God, you are the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. You are the King of all kings and Lords of all lords. Bless us, Lord. Continue to grow us, Lord. Continue to increase, direct, guide, love on us, Lord. Hold us in your bosom and teach us and have us learn. Father God, these all times are wondrous, troubling, great, all at the same time. Have us receive your works and what it is that you are doing, O Lord, and have us come to an understanding, an overstanding on how we should react. Lord, have my words fall upon the ears, the eyes of those who is asking the same questions as I. Just curious, just want to know. Give us what we need on this podcast. In your son, Jesus' name, we do pray. Amen. Amen. All right. So I am literally just coming from the gym. I didn't have time to go ahead and throw on any makeup or put on no outfit or whatever. But guess what? I feel good. I feel good. I feel good all over. Yes. My goodness. Today we have a few things, that I want to catch you guys up on. I want to talk. I want to discuss. Whew, it's been quite the ride. But all is well. All is well. Hello, Instagram family. All right. Hello, Facebook people. Hey, YouTube. Woo-woo. You guys feel free to give me a call at 862-812-8846 and or chime in to be a panel member and put out your opinion. Tell me what you think about certain things, Um, it just is what it is. We've been going through, though. We've been going through. What? God, man, he's so good. Um, let's jump into it. Oh, I want to take the time out to let y'all know that we're gonna be doing some workout here shortly on this podcast. I don't know which day. I know how I get about my days. But yeah, I want to drop a little bit of weight because guess what? I was trying to chase my child the other day. I'm gonna have to catch him, right? So I got these right from Shein, and it's like a little cute little sweat thing, and I think it's pretty cool. I like it. I've been sweating. I came back from the gym, and it feels good. You know, I ain't gonna go get me no BBL, no breast implants, no reduction. It's just you gonna take me and see me and love me as such, okay? Because these women are going to get all this stuff done, and they be looking extra cute. And I'm like, girl, you don't need no work. You just need to go run around a few laps a time or two, right? You just need. I want to get some of this down, just a little bit of running. So I might have a little workout session on here too, just to bring the little thighs down. Okay. Thank you for my love. I do want to go out and say shout out to Indigenous HER, the natural hair care product line. I need you guys to go check out my website at www.indigenoushhair.com. www.indigenoushERbeauty.com. Shout out to Mrs. Joanne Lawson. I did not forget your order. I promise you, your order is coming this week. Please forgive me. And just because of that, because we were on vacation. So because of that, I am going to provide you additional stuff outside of your order. Okay, I will give you a call, and because that's not the way we do business over here. So, and I started setting up shop right in this room so that I can really like start showing you guys the things that's good for your hair, your skin, your nails, because we don't need all those extra chemicals and stuff. We just need a little something, not too much. But check out our website. Hit me up on YouTube. Please like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you. Thank you. Instagram family, y'all gonna hear me talking, but y'all might not be able to see the videos. I'm gonna go ahead and start one video for y'all, and y'all tell me what y'all think. All right. So let me share what's going on. Share my screen. Let's do some share screen, and let's start with. Let me see. Can I pull this back?
That some of you are not Black. But from what I can see in the comment section, I would assume that many of you are Black. Some of you from places that are considered dangerous. And a lot of people didn't give you a chance to become somebody. People didn't think you would become somebody. But for whatever reason, you beat the odds. I had a crack addicted father. I grew up in, communities where there were gangs. I grew up where there were, a lack of resources. But I always believed two things for the most part in God. And then I believed in myself, and I wanted to make something of myself, just like most of y'all, right?
Sure.
And your life could have went another way.
Mm-hmm.
But thank God that you are who you are and where you are today. And most of you who are successful, you didn't basically let sad talk get you down.
That's right.
You didn't let your circumstances define you. You held yourself to a level of accountability, and you performed. Whether you were an immigrant or not, or you're African American or not, you knew that in order for you to be somebody in this lifetime, you had to put in the work.
And God will meet you halfway.
Unfortunately, we have in the Black community groups of people who believe that because somebody is poor, because somebody doesn't have resources, they should not be held accountable for their behavior, as if they don't have options. And that is what I call pretty much Pookie and Ray Ray encouragement. Okay? And that is what Brandon Johnson is, the mayor of elect in Chicago. This guy is out here pretty much saying that, look, I'm not excusing what they did, but we should not demonize these kids for doing what they did. And thank God that the pastor, a famous pastor in Chicago, is disagreeing with what the mayor is saying.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to play this particular clip, and then I'm going to come back.
People from all corners of Chicago are weighing in on the chaotic teen takeover downtown this weekend. I talked to a man with a special place in his heart for our city's youth, the rooftop pastor, Corey Brooks. It's time to step up. That's what Corey Brooks tells me tonight. Pastors and community leaders need to get to work. The first mission, make sure our young people know what's acceptable and what isn't. To tell people it's not constructive to demonize our youth, as Mayor-elect Johnson did, is misguided thinking, according to Brooks.
Okay.
I think it's about holding them accountable. I think it's about teaching them values. I think it's about teaching them self-respect. And when we don't do that, we're going to create a society, a city that is going to have a long, hard summer.
More places to go for our young people along the lines of the massive Project Hood Community Center Pastor Brooks is building in Woodlawn will be helpful in keeping our young people engaged. But for the moment, Pastor Brooks is calling for Chicagoans to show support for the police department as they attempt to curtail the chaos. And he's encouraging parents of young people
to get more involved.
You know, I come from a single parent household, and I know what it's like for a single mother to have to deal with a rebellious teenager. So it can be very tough. It can be very tedious. Parenting is tough. All of us who have children, we know that. But at the same time, it does not negate the fact that we have to take responsibility for our children.
Now, let me just say this. The pastor in the clip, I don't even really go to church anymore, but if I ever go to Chicago, I'm going to his. Because in life right now, where we give excuses to everybody who are underperforming, who don't want to follow a certain rules.
All right. So they say that, you know, some say rules are meant to be broken, right? But if the rules actually provide proper structure in this, what we call the community
of your
or
career
society,
with ECPI University.
I needed the freedom of an online coursework.
Then that's where the biggest issue of things are. And if these young kids, the teenagers, they don't have nowhere to go, you know, for the summer, they don't have much to do. Everything costs. So if I want to take my teenage child to the YMCA per se, that costs. If I want to put my child in swimming, that costs. If I want to put my child in to play the violin or in music or the track team or whatever.
Well, like that may cost and all that, but we have to understand too. We're not excusing anybody, but children are children, and we can't necessarily hold them responsible for certain things that's not available for them. So that's when parents or people who have children that are single should think and have more of an understanding of you shouldn't have a broken home. Or a broken home is the cause and effect of most of the event that is taking place. Not to mention, we have to understand the ones who are actually walking out there in the streets. What are they actually talking about? You can't necessarily look from the outside in saying, hey, man, these guys need to do A, B, and C because, you know, the rules are meant to be broken. You know, rules on.
But hold
rules
on.
Are put in,
even if this person has a single household per se, in my mind, what exactly is a single household? Because the man
I'm gonna tell you
in the children's lives, and still you could still be in a single household.
A single household is there's no such thing as a single household. It's called a broken household. We make all these other excuses for just calling it what it is a broken house with a woman who's with children. 9 times out of 10 with more than one children by 3 or 4 different men. So you have to think that woman has, you know, put herself in a situation that is obligated for her own. We can't speak on her.
Okay, but Master Ra, I'm asking that you stay on topic here because the topic is not necessarily what that woman has done to have it become a single household. The topic is that these teenagers are pretty much out of control. So what are some things that you can implement? You see, Pastor Brooks is putting in place.
Listen closely. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. You take a child who's been raised by a single woman who's drifting from man to man, place to place, chaos, anarchy, all of the time, and you put them amongst a bunch of other women in that same category. You're creating a pot of a bunch of craziness. That's what most of those societies are put together like. You have a bunch of single women who choose to sneak this one, sneak that one, and they're not upholding the moral compass of God. And when you don't understand the moral, listen closely. Because you don't have the moral compass of God. Let me say that real quick. When you don't have the moral compass of God, that's where you get that whole idea of even a rule in the first place with the 10 Commandments. You understand what I'm saying? These were ceremonies and rituals come together to create man and woman so you can have a union. And when you have that union, there comes a child. When you break those ceremonials and rituals, you create something that's broken from the star patterns and alignments of the universe. See, this is something greater than most people can even think of. They think just having a baby is just coming together and la la la. But no, you are coming together to create a force
I
of
think,
man and woman.
Master, I
And when
thank
you
you.
do not have, listen closely, and when you take out the man element and the whole idea of raising one to be high as the sun, that's where you have the true chaos, because he,
Master Ross,
it's going
thank
to
you.
end up
I
with
do
that.
appreciate your opinion. But I also want to add that I feel like the states, and well, not feel, I know the states need to be providing the proper funding for the different after school programs as well as the summer programs
Okay.
for these children to do something
No.
positive with themselves. It can't be summer and I'm
say
just on
no.
the block chilling. It's not, that's
Let me tell you
not gonna.
something.
That's
Let me
when,
tell you something.
you know, the devil
That's
meets.
not. Let me tell you something. The fact that the state is even put in that situation shows you the chaos and the anarchy. Who looks to the state to control their child or to create something? Not thinking.
All right.
To where that's where the element of the woman comes in, to where she needs the guidance of most men, especially the men she had a baby with. The man who had the baby with her, raising the child with her, will uplift them in a time of need, even in even in a situation like this. You know, for you may have all that energy, put the energy in the correct source, maybe in a book, reading, learning. You know, there's other forms of getting, you know, muscle mass or using muscle mass. You know, but when you just have the feminine force talking about state provide, that's when chaos and anarchy is in the mix.
Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down, sir. And we're gonna go ahead.
So listen, I'm gonna say one more thing about that. Because you gotta remember something. It's called a state for a reason, meaning a state of mind. Each state has its own rules, which is that each state has its own state of mind. So each state is various on its mindset and what needs to be orchestrated for that state. So it's all in the state of mind and a collective of minds. So if you have a collective of wholish minds, you have a state of whole-like minds.
What I love about Angel Sense is I
State
always
of
know
like
that
mine.
is being monitored.
Okay.
Ladies, one thing that
We're gonna move on to this next one where
is that
this woman says she don't cook and she don't clean. She's a modern day woman and she don't have time to cook nor clean.
To date you. I tell all men that, because think about it. How are you going to build a family with a woman who can't cook, who can't clean, which is the basic things that women have been doing for millions of years? Modern women is not where it's at. Now, of course, guys will have fun with modern women. Of course, that's what.
I don't cook. I don't cook. You know,
there's so many other things that men care about.
They only care about it if they can't afford to go.
That's a lie. Yeah, so that's the thing. A lot of y'all women get on these little shows y'all having and podcasts, and y'all discussing men like y'all know us. And as men, we sitting here listening to you and say you don't know what you're talking about. And that's the thing. There's so many women out here giving advice to other women and screwing these women up. You are sabotaging these women from getting men. Because yes, men care about you cooking. Men care about you cleaning. If the man comes home, he don't want to see clothes from the door all the way to the room. He don't want to see the pillows on the couches all over the place. He don't want to see dishes piled up in both sides of the sink. He don't want to see any of that mess. He want to see the freaking bathroom clean. He want to see the toilet paper roll changed. He want to see the house swept. He want to see the house mopped. When he come home and he see a clean house, it makes him feel good because he say, okay, man, that's what I work for. This look good right here.
Yeah.
And you doing what you're supposed to do. Then it's no problem with you saying, hey, I need to be, I like to get my nails done, my hair done, my this and that. Of course. Because, hey, you doing everything that the minimum that you supposed to be doing. You say you don't cook. What the children eat if you got them? What do they eat? Chicken nuggets? One of the worst things ever. other fast food items. What you giving them? Pizza every other day? What you do? Taking them to freaking Taco Bell or whatever? Because you don't want to cook. That's why I told y'all before. I loved the pandemic, at least the first part of it, when them restaurants got shut down.
All right, so there you have it. A woman that does not want to cook nor clean. I don't know. I really can't relate in this aspect of things because I thought, that was a part of what we do. That's a part of our job. But luckily, there are men that also knows how to cook and how to clean. Now, I know there's a few men that can't even boil water. And that's the one y'all can have that. But, sometimes you make it a date night when y'all cooking together. That's cute too. Go half and half, 50-50. You cook Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I'll cook Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and Sundays we cook together. There's ways around that. I know that we are like calling ourselves modern day women, but I like a little bit of the modern mixed with the traditional and some of that good classic old school as well, because it gives not only myself a certain level of gratification, but also the children see different aspects of things happening in the household. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and then cleaning, Wednesdays you tidy up everything, but Saturday morning from 6 to 10, you should not be in no store. You talk about you shopping and you get your this, that done, and this, that, and the third, your nails and your toes. And I be seeing the baddest of chicks come outside and go, they be up in the clubs, chilling or whatever. And then they go back to their one room shack and it's a hot mess. Chicken boxes and everything all on the ground. It's a mess. Now, I don't know. It's pretty hard to, clean a home, but you got to take time to keep your things tidy. And they say cleanliness is the closest thing to godliness. So I'm trying to get closer to God. So I'm scrubbing, I'm sweeping, we mopping, clean the windows, get them spots. And, being a part of the military now, you gonna know how to clean, because it's clean and then there's clean. You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, these modern women talk about they don't cook, they don't clean. Okay, go ahead, hire somebody. Since you so modern and you got so much money and this, that, and third, hire somebody to do that. Because don't no man want to walk up in nowhere, because the same way how you treat your house is how you treat your private parts. Think about it. If you won't clean the tub and you ain't getting that dirt and that grime and all that, you ain't clean the toilet, where your private parts is going? What you doing with that? But neither here nor there. Master Ryan, you got something to say about that? Okay, let's move on. I had a good one. This is I haven't taken a look at this one, but I'm anxious.
If you're a tax or accounting professional, let me let you in on a little secret. Most of these gurus, if you think that for you.
So you got a brother that wants his wife to take care of his grandmother.
Okay, so he wants his wife to take care of his grandmother.
He don't want her put inside any kind of nursing home. But the way the brother went about it, I don't agree with this at all. Let's review.
Can't we get the audacity to tell me that my grandma can't stay here when we got 3 bedrooms?
Why are you recording me?
Because I want to show my family this. This is crazy.
Show your family.
Yeah, but you trying to make it seem like my grandma can't stay here. But we got.
Well, what your family gonna do, bro? That's the thing. Like when you in a relationship, you don't involve family in any of your personal business. Like what they gonna do?
That part.
I mean, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna be biased and take your side,
right?
For the most part. So show them for what you acting like a child. But let's continue.
The whole loft that she can stay in. Our kids can stay.
Your grandmother is not staying here.
She is staying. Take that stuff out the loft. All the extra boxes we got that can go into the garage somewhere. I got the great no. I get her bed, put her bed there. She's good. All she needs is a little bit of time. So wherever you get, where you get some time,
a little bit of time, or she's gonna be staying.
She's gonna be staying. My grandmom is staying.
No, she's not staying.
She's staying. Yes, she is. She's
not staying here.
Hey, look,
we don't have enough room.
It's not my week. But this is my family here, okay? So I'm gonna
your family.
Get
so
that clear.
You need to take care of your family. She needs to be staying.
And you need to take care of our family. My family
yes,
is
I do take care of our family.
Okay, no, you take care of the immediate family, the kids. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, I do.
Our grandma needs to stay here too. All you need to listen.
Matt,
this is what my mom told me. All she need to do, this is her routine. All she need to do is wake up in the morning at 8 o'clock in the morning, fix her breakfast.
I don't care about your grandmother's schedule. You need to.
I'm gonna tell you her schedule. When I go to work, you taking care of her. Listen.
How you gonna tell me what I'm gonna do when you go to work?
Okay. First of all, bruh.
All right. Because this is interesting here. This man is trying to tell this lady that she needs to take care of his grandmother, or his grandmother needs to move into the home. Now they have more than enough space to make it happen. And I listen, I'm about family. In my mind, that's something that's not a question. I don't know if it's on, how people feel about certain things, but in my mind, grandma's coming and grandma's staying. And grandma gonna have a good damn time. We gonna turn up. We're gonna have a good time. But it might be some other reasons, I don't know what her household got going on, but the way he's going about it, like man said, is just dumb. First of all, don't put me on camera. Second of all, I'm in my bedroom attire, okay, sitting here talking about your grandma. Like, how old are we? We're having conversations that needs not be on live. Everything don't need to go live, but he need his family to see. Need your family to see what in my marriage household going on. What part? Make it make sense, because he's doing much too much. Okay, so she needs to make that decision. If she got more than enough space in that loft, but him telling her that she needs to make the grandma's food and this, that, and the third, it's a different way you could go about doing that. You can get a lot out of a person depending on your approach. Your approach matters. Your approach, your whole way ahead on how you go about getting to your end result. You understand what I'm saying? And so I think his approach could have been a whole lot better, and he could have been a little bit more smooth with it. Shoot, she would have, what I'm saying? Depending on the time of the day, you got to know when to really get somebody with, some information, hit somebody with information like that. So it's just is what it is. But in my mind, grandma's staying. You don't, especially if he feels that heavy about it. You guys have to take some time to listen to your man, because listening is a part of the communication factor. And if you're not listening to what he's saying, you can hear it in his voice that obviously this grandma must have took a good portion of his childhood and raised him or helped him in some way, shape, or form become the man that he is today. So grandma would have been moving in. What's she going to take on the first floor? Okay, let me go ahead and get the bed and everything ready and set for her. Let me go ahead and, get some extra, like, ladies. And it's only for a short period of time. There's no need to have your whole entire marriage go down off of the fact that, so God forbid something happened to his grandma, then what? You mad. He's going to be mad at you forever over that nonsense. I mean, she could have come and stayed, and they could have hired like a nurse's aide or some assistants or somebody. That's all I'm saying. But let me move on so I can click into something else. All right, let's see what this guy going on.
In 1906, we were successful because we had each other's back when no one else did. We built green.
So, guys, this series is actually doing quite well on my channel, Dating in Atlanta. This is episode number.
Matter of fact, I can't even call it a date because I was already out.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Atlanta, and I was pretty much grabbing me a slice of pizza. Young lady that I previously met on social media had saw that I was on Facebook, and she reached out to me and was like, "Yo, we haven't seen one another as of yet. Let's meet up." I said, "Well, clearly, okay, no problem. I can meet you up." She told me where she was at the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
In the process, I go to the restaurant. Mind you, I already got my slice of pizza from Fellini's. I go to the restaurant. It's nice and extravagant. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. In the process, I see she already done made her order. She ordered swordfish, glass of wine, and some type of squid shit. So I order just some fish and chips. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
Waiter comes back and he says, "Excuse me, ma'am. How do you want your swordfish? Do you want it blackened or boiled?" She says, "What's the price difference?" He said, "It's just an additional $10." So I asked him. I said, "Damn, how much is the fish?" He said, "The fish is $38."
God damn, $38 for some fish. Woo!
So I'm looking at the table, 38 plus 10, that's 48. Glass of wine, probably about 15, 20. The calamari, probably additional 15, 20. That's $100 right there, just for lunch. For a young lady, I don't even know. I just got a hug from the sister. So clearly, I'm from up top, so I'm not gonna. So I tell this young lady, I'm out of here. I get the hell on. At the end of the day, am I wrong?
Oh, wait. Yo, let's talk about that, man. Like, have you guys ever been in a situation where...
All right. So I take it he's on a date, his first date with this girl. So this is called dating in Atlanta. And I think this is O'Shea Jackson. Dating in Atlanta. He's on a date, and the girl orders swordfish, broiled or whatever, calamari, a glass of wine, and this is their first date at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. First of all, and mind you, she gets there ahead of time and she orders for herself. That's not a good first date. So first date, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I don't think we're gonna be eating no fish. Number one. Number two, first date, you don't really know the person. I hope she was planning on picking up that tab, or at least splitting it in some way, shape, or form. But I don't know. That's what they say, Atlanta's pretty expensive. It's getting just as expensive in Atlanta as it is in New York. But you don't do a man like that. You be reasonable. Okay? Reasonable and feasible. There's nothing wrong with grabbing some salmon and a salad, or what's actually pretty good. But, just like some finger foods, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Jesus. You don't do that, because that just shows your level of greed, glutton, as well as you just greedy. You trying to run up the man tab. You don't go nowhere throughout the whole week. Talk about you eating swordfish. Maybe the calamari, yes, and the wine. Come on, make it make sense. Y'all got to do better. I mean, if you hit him up on the fourth date like that, the third date, but the first date, don't show all your daggone don't show all your stuff there. All right, let me go ahead. Before I go any further, what I want to do is also shout out a few businesses. Let me get on here and see if I can shout out some businesses. On here. Also, shout out a few businesses. Oops. All right. All right, so I want to shout out Deborah Johnson. All right, Debbie's Fashion Factory. She also has an online shop, so check her out. Let me close this down some. Hold on. Stop sharing. All right. So Debbie's Fashion Factory online shoppers, discount codes are buy two. So the discount code is buy two. Check her out, Debbie's Fashion Factory. She sells some cute little outfits. I wore a few outfits from her here before. Actually, as a matter of fact, this weekend I'm gonna wear another. Shout out to Karen Smalls and the Smalls family. Oh, the sneakers is cute. Shout out to Journey Soap Bar. Please go check her out. She out there in Hartsville, South Carolina. I also want y'all to check out, shout out to Born for Clothing. It's a father and son duo, and they got some banging clothes on there, some lovely African-made garments, as well as handbags, true real leather, shoes, the whole nine, headgear. Please check them out. Born for Clothing. Born for Clothing. Who else we got on here? Looking for a few more businesses on here. Shout out Excessive Clothing Line. Excessive. Shout out Excessive.
Okay, everybody.
Okay. All right. And then also, I want to shout out and introduce to you guys a new business by a young lady named Deborah Thompson, and it's called Dat Productions. So you're going to be seeing me push, that business a little bit more and a little bit extra, because guess what? We got an event coming up, and we're really excited for it. Dat Productions will be doing some production push in July, as well as the premiere is scheduled for January 13th. So please stay tuned. Dat Productions is out for business. So if you guys are interested in telling your life story, or interested in giving sharing a documentary or something that happened or took place, please reach out to Dat Productions. She's on Instagram and Facebook. Over the next few weeks, you'll hear me discuss this a little bit more. But I say again, Dat Productions. All right? Push. And congratulations on getting that business out. She's the young lady that did my video for Indigenous HER. She was behind the scenes doing the videos for my gala last year. And she just decided to pick back up on her original dream, and one of many dreams, and she's about to do it. So you guys will see Not To A Corporation out there pushing the Dat production line, kind of featuring in a way. Okay, so stay tuned for that, because that's going to be pretty exciting. All right. And this is going to be, the premiere will be in Virginia. So stay tuned for tickets, and everything's going to be just fine. Let me go ahead and get back to our breaking news. So I want to share, let me share my screen to discuss. Okay, hold on. One more. Let's see what this is about.
Feedy, while you also go to work, take care of the household. Them the ones complaining, y'all. The scrubs.
This opening clip is very interesting, and I want to give a shout out to Brother Mark Cruz for sending it to me. And I believe that this clip shows the divide that American men and American women typically have, especially if we go down to the niche of the African American community. Now, I'm not saying that every woman thinks like her, but I believe we do see enough evidence that there are many women who feel like her or have the same kind of, let's say similar patterns of agreeing with what she's talking about. And the reason why I believe that is because many women find themselves in a similar situation that lady might be in. And the reason why I'm saying that is because she seems to be a single mom. She seems to have possibly more than one kid, and she's possibly believing that some man is going to come in and really bear the brunt of that responsibility when that responsibility is supposed to be to somebody else. But let me not digress. She starts off by saying, a good woman is a good woman, regardless of how many kids that she has. And I believe here's the issue that we're coming across, and I believe in American circles, especially in the...
Okay. Lord have mercy. Now, my opinion on this is where I stand with it. Yes, a good woman is a good woman, regardless of the kids that she has or amount of kids that she has. Yes, that is true. But I tend to question your decision-making skills when it comes down to not how many, but by how many. That's where we're going with it. And so you can't tell me a woman with 3 kids and 3 different baby fathers is the way to go. And she's still considered a good woman. She may be good in areas, but the overall arching portion of a good woman, that ain't it, because your decision-making skills is off. Something ain't right. And so that's where I'm at with it. Now, the 50-50 thing, I'm okay with 50-50 because a real good woman knows when you and that person is going 50-50 half. I'm not saying you put in a quarter. I'm not watching nobody money or they wallet. Like, who does that? So that's the problem there. 50-50 does not necessarily mean truly 50-50. Some days I might feel up and I might put in a little bit more energy in one thing than the other partner. But then other days I might not feel too good and the other partner puts in a little bit. But for me to be sitting here and count, well, the light bill is $196. You put in, $80 from there and I put in $80 from the, that's not it. Who watching it to that point, to that existence? When you pray, God makes so many things happen and come into fruition the way that you know it needs to be. So prayer, it goes a long way, because that same man that you downing or that's not good enough for you or that's a scrub, every dog has his day. And it's possible that he might be the one to make you shine. He might be the one to increase you. You give him a year or two, he might be a billionaire next year. You don't know. You are not God and you are not a fortune teller. God may have put this man in your peer view in order for you guys to lift each other up and increase each other. And you got to put him at the top, at the head. But if you say, well, he can't do a 400, it's bad enough you already got a kid that's not with him, but I'm not counting that. Look, kids are a blessing. So I don't know what could have happened. Your child's father could have been in jail. He could have passed away. You could have been a widow, all kinds of different stuff. So that's not what I'm counting. But what I'm counting on is for you to go just as hard for him as he is going for you. It ain't gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna just sit back and watch him work till he 85, and I'm gonna just sit back and collect all his money. And oh, I'm a good woman. No, bitch, you're a dumb woman, and that's why you're single today. But neither here nor there. I'm just gonna continue because I'm really trying hard to I don't like that. Because you take a white collar man and he could lose his job the next day. You take a plumber, an electrician, a mechanic, a bus driver, okay? And the relationship is not solely based upon money. There's so many different aspects of a relationship. Huh. If you think it's solely with money and material stuff, don't mean nothing. It's based on much more. Imagine the things that man could be installing in your child. That part. So, let's go back to it. But let me see what else he's saying.
In the Black community, when you make the statement that a good woman is a good woman, no matter how many kids she has, is a good man no matter how much money he doesn't earn, or if he's unemployed, or if he's short, or if he's fat, or if he's old or not good looking? You see, when we're talking about good, it doesn't mean that good is desirable. Good does not necessarily mean desirable. For an example, Steve Young, one of my favorite quarterbacks in the NFL of all time, was a great quarterback, but he did.
Let's move on. Let me see how much time I got on here. Okay, got a few more minutes. But that's where we're at with it. I think I just want to do I want to show one more. Let me share screen. That's a stream. Yeah, just the. Yeah, but that had me feeling. James, Master Rob, were you able to hear what the last video?
Yeah, I did. I heard the young lady talking. In reality, most women speak like that when they lose all options, when all things are really low for them. So they just say that just to say it for clicks and views, you ask me, because even with the mindset that she has, no one will want to deal with her or her children. Like I said in my previous, it's not. Again?
No, go ahead.
Because it's just to the point now. I just think more men need to step up and reclaim the real position of the true seed of life, and all this woman, creating babies and all that, and they're really just the egg. And if you can understand, the yolk is the true thing that creates the everything. And when men really step up and say, "Hey, man, enough of this baby mama, baby," but see, they make it comfortable and give incentives for this type of dirty mind mentality. I mean, just look how she gets online to speak of it. Any man in their right mind wouldn't even, yeah, you might get a smile here and there, but you're not going to want to pay attention to nothing like that because, you're child-minded. We got big things to do out here. I mean, the world is really so much bigger than the negativity of fools, or even fools speaking negative. So, good luck, sweetheart.
I don't know, y'all. Them type of mindset. That be the same homegirl telling you to go ahead, leave him, and go ahead, get with this guy. Oh, he pays.
But let me ask you a question.
Money, but he's not making you happy. You're not happy with that particular guy. Like, I would rather date the mechanic before I go and date somebody that I'm not going to be happy with.
Like I said again, I don't listen to fools. And a woman who's got multiple seeds grown into her by multiple different men, that's pretty foolish behavior. Despite your position in whatever job you hold, that doesn't make you, wise. Even a man. See, most men don't do that, but there's a consequence for a man. You understand? But see, the real consequence for the woman used to be shame. Now the walk of shame is, damn near a clothing line. This woman is disgust is the new fashion.
Well, all I know is, brothers and sisters, these diseases is out here still, and if sleeping around with a bunch of different people is cute, it really is not. And you just
like I said again, it goes back to the woman's mind and the state of mind. You got to understand is what being put in the state of mind of the woman to even make her do such things. To understand your body.
Sometimes men and women feel like, well, you know what? I don't have to, there's no picking up from here. I already have 3 kids.
Messages received from Ruth Lane.
I already have 2 kids, 3 kids, and they all have 3 different baby fathers. And I don't think
that's a personal. Let me explain something real quick.
So, that's their reality. So if that's their reality, where do they go from there? I'm not gonna have anyone paying me for having my children, but how do I get up from here? What do I do from here? Because the deed is already done.
Number one, listen. You talking, but you got to understand and listen and intake. When you intake good information, there's a good cure for the disease that's being spread out here, which is looseness and just pure tea nastiness. You have to think to yourself what it is you're doing. Simple as that. You can't. There's no excuse for anything you do. If you want to be a hoe, you're a hoe. See, the thing is, you have to classify it as what it is: hoish behavior, whorish behavior, slut behavior.
But what about the man?
Well,
what if he's the one that's a hoe?
Stop for a second. You can never compare a man to a woman. And the moment a woman continues to do that, shows so much around the case that they're trying to fight for many reasons. Man creates the laws and the rules. Man creates the seed that the woman grows from. And the woman is 9 times out of 10 used or passed off in the contractual agreement with most societies to create peace. You understand what I'm saying? So it's bigger than the man. The man does different. See, the woman is a true, the true pastor. She opens the legs. Unless that woman is being raped, you cannot blame the man for anything. So, if it's consensual, it's consensual. You can't go into this, that, and the third, because at the end of the day, there's no contract. There's no state of union between the two.
All right, well, speaking of contract, how about the landlord that's facing a lawsuit after trying to have sex with his tenant?
Well, that's under his contract. She should have been able to pay.
Is that right?
Manager of the building and the person who owns.
That sounds like a fair deal.
Basically,
at the end of the day,
you sign a rental agreement that includes a clause that would consent to sexual activity with the manager of the building and the person who owns the building, the landlord.
Jesus.
So former Las Vegas real estate broker and property manager Alan Rothstein is being sued in federal court for harassment, fraud, and housing law violations after allegedly requiring a woman to sign a housing contract that promised she'd give him oral sex for 5 years, according to a lawsuit filed in 2019. I'm guessing that this lawsuit is taking time because of the pandemic, because again, it was filed several years ago.
Oral sex.
Nonetheless, Candy
that
Torres
sounds like some
filed
bullshit, man.
as well as
I'm telling you right now.
the owner. His name is Kyle Putney. Torres, who sought to rent from Rothstein and property owner Kyle Putney with her 5 young children, claimed that during the process of trying to rent from them, Rothstein demanded that she give him a hand job. When she refused, he required her to sign a contract titled, quote, direct consent for sexual intercourse and or fellatio or cunnilingus before he would allow her to rent the apartment. And unfortunately, she was desperate. She was homeless prior to this and desperately needed housing for herself and her 5 children. By the way, America, one of the richest countries in the world. What a wonderful place to live, right? That she felt like she had no choice but to just sign the agreement. According to the lawsuit, Rothstein had already dragged Torres, who was applying to rent the property through Section 8 housing laws, through a long process involving multiple payments, fees, and cleanings of the apartment that she did herself. At the time, Torres and her children, again, were living in a hotel. They were homeless. Yeah. So Section 8, for those who might not know, it's a federal program that funds local housing authorities to help people who can't afford rent. It should be far more robust than it is, but it's
okay. This man is nasty, and then on top of that, that is still happening right now today. I spoke with my homegirl earlier, and she was like, "Yeah, people is out here like having sex in order to like pay their rent. They're having sex with their landlord to pay their rent." And
well, I tell you what. If they don't want it, they should just get kicked out. Then how about that? Just do the old-fashioned way. Get them on the street. If you don't want to, just get her out. Sound like to me. See, a man can never be offered such a deal. Can you imagine a nice woman, even an older woman, coming to a young man and say, "Hey, man, I'll let you live here rent-free. Just do what I need you to do here and there." It'd be lovely. But see, a young man, can, especially at the house, and this, that, and third, but see, these women get all these privileges, and she probably noticed she signed a contract, and she already probably done so many hand jobs, and this, that, and the third, but now she wants to deal.
I doubt that. Like,
I know
like that she's gonna win that lawsuit. I bet you she won't be homeless no more, because she about to win this lawsuit. Because that is just.
It sounds like to me. It's a setup. It's a setup. No,
that is prostitution.
That's probably why he had to sign the contract in the first place.
Prostitution at best, with a whole pimp. So she needed to do all this with the manager of the building and the owner of the building in order to live there.
Well,
With
she
her
already got
5
5 children. She already got 5 children.
God.
See the pretty picture she painted of herself? That's all I'm saying. Ain't got nothing to do with nobody but herself. And it's not like she's there with a husband and 5 children. And then he's asking her for that. Now, if he asks her with a husband then that'll be an indecent proposal. But to me, it sounded like that was a hell of a deal for her. Because she got an offer most men would dream of. Can you imagine a young man being able to pay his rent by just sleeping with the landlord here and there?
All right, well,
she got an awesome deal, but here she's complaining. She's already in the house. She got the kids in the house. He got her at them hotels. Now she want to complain. Sound like to me.
Okay, well, it looks like our time is up, Master Ra. Thank you for coming in with your opinions as usual, and we really, really appreciate you. Please like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. I'm gonna try to make it on here every day of this week for all the time that I've wasted thus far. But I was on vacation. I was doing my little thing, everything. So, but I'm back now. So, and then we might even do a little workout session. I'm trying to figure out if I could play music on here. And I want to do some karaoke too, guys. I aspire to different levels of dreams here. Okay. And if you are interested in karaoke, and please let me know so we both be on here like, ow. Okay.
All right.
In the meantime, in between time, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and tell a friend, and tell a friend to get on the panel and tell me what your thoughts are. Tell me what's going on in the world. Tell me what's going on your side of town. New York, New Jersey, Virginia, Maryland, North Carolina, South Carolina, Atlanta, Florida. We'll cover them all. Send me. All right. So we're going to, we do everything close, open up and close out with prayer. James, you want to take it away?
Blessings to the world. Good night. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Bye.